Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about Cecily Bauchmann. I don't know what her name, Cecily? I don't care. Anyway, as I've been learning about her a little bit more, I'm finding out that she is just like every other family vlogger in the world. But one of the things that happened to her child, she keeps continuing to share the story. So I want to hear the story myself, and we're going to snark on her because she deserves it. So let's go. So after my video of Cecily Bauchmann being a total douchebag, I might call her Cecily Douchman. Douchman? That might work. Going to Florida and complaining about Disney and all that kind of stuff and just being a complete asshole. I found out that she has a story about her child who almost gets hit by a truck. And she has told this story literally 10 times so far because she capitalizes on it, makes so much money on this one story. One of the things I hate about family vloggers in general is when they share stories of their kids' tragedies all over the internet for everybody to hear forever and ever and ever. Even if what if that kid doesn't want everybody to know their tragic story when they're growing up? I know it's a little bit different when you're like, oh, I almost got killed by a truck or whatever happened here, and you might want to tell it. But I'm just saying, what if you don't? You know, and capitalizing on your children's accidents and hospital visits and doctor's visits is the lowest thing anybody could do. Okay, especially if you claim to be a Christian. These people will stop at nothing to give everybody on the internet the basics of their kid and everything that their kid has gone through, and they don't care. They don't give two shits. Honestly, they don't. And so we make fun of her. So I guess there's this one we're gonna watch first, and this is the early one. And then we're gonna watch other ones and see how they kind of line up. But she keeps telling the same damn story over and over and over again, and I want to hear it myself. So let's go.
Let's get ready for the day. Story that is the most common in my search bar,
Cecily Bauchmann's son ran over. So it's all showing up like that.
These ones that you guys are seeing. But first, I have to get in the shower.
First, I have to bathe
because my hair is so dirty. I'm getting my hair.
Why did you start this video when you look like a bag of smashed assholes then? Why didn't you just wait till you had a shower? I don't understand this. I'm going to tell you the story, but first let me get in the shower. What? Start the video after you're done in the shower. You complete Sasquatch.
Done tomorrow, and I want it to be clean for my hairstylist.
Yeah. Pants. Oh, I see. Because she wanted you guys to see her showering. That's why. So she's going to tell this tragic story of her son. But first, let me get naked on TikTok and shower. No, look, I'm telling you, there is no such thing as a pastor's wife anywhere in the world that you would catch doing this. I don't think so anyway. I don't know. I've never ever seen it. Never in any normal church will you see a pastor's wife literally getting undressed, showing her razors, and washing herself naked in a shower. It's just not a thing. It's never going to be a thing in a church. Look, you can do hoe phases all day long. You can be a thought. You can be a thirst trap. You can't do those things, though, if you are a pastor's wife. Optics matter. And I know everybody's like, yeah, no, it's like freeing, release the nipple. Fine. But you can't do that if you're a pastor's wife. There are things you can't do when you're a pastor or connected to ministry in any way. You just can't do them. You forsake those things if that's the way your life is. You understand? It's called living above reproach. Her husband must hate her.
In 2017, my husband started his first coaching job, a cleanup day. And during the cleanup days, they would do a lot of the gardening and planting.
They all talk the same, man. They all talk the same. I'm gardening. And the Christian ones specifically talk like this. Because what's her face there? Looks like the ghost of an asshole's past. I forget her name. The one that's just pregnant now, who's got sued by the state of Texas. Oh my gosh, my brain's not on today. Anyway, they all talk like they all talk the same.
And things like that for the school. I was 21 weeks pregnant with our third, and the night before, I had this really crazy dream. I had dreamt of these Demogorgon.
Is that mustard? Demogorgon? From Stranger Things?
Creatures fighting me. Karate stick, and I was...
Karate stick? Did she just call it a karate stick? Do you mean a bow staff? You not seen, what's that movie? Napoleon Dynamite? Bow staff skills, nunchuck skills, karate stick. Oh my God, this woman. I told you she's a space cadet. I told you guys. Like, my first impression of her, she's a spacey weirdo. Okay? And she's like, she's unaware of how dumb she is. She's unaware of how unlikable she is. And she's like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how she scored a husband. I have no idea how she did it. Was he drugged? I have no idea.
Fighting them all off one by one.
Yeah, I'm sure the Demogorgons are scared of this. We're all scared of this.
Get back! Go away! Sam woke me up and he was like, Cecily, you're dreaming. Next morning.
Oh, it's Cecily. I need that. Let's check and see if she knew.
I woke up, I was exhausted. Sam was like, I have to leave, it's time to go. I'm gonna take James, we're gonna go get donuts, and then we're gonna head down to the high school. I was actually heading with my oldest, Capri, to my sister-in-law's baby
Stop
shop.
naming your kids after juice boxes. Can we stop that? Please? I think our life, they did the same thing. Capri. It's already taken. Capri Sun. It's done. It's a little juice box. Don't name your kid Capri. Okay, and it's also 3/4 length pants. Let's stop. Can we stop that? No offense to any of those out here who are named Capri. Your parents have failed you. Okay, you're named after pants and a juice box.
Hair is falling out. Hold on. Sam had been at the cleanup day with James for some time at this point. I've been setting up for the baby
What does
shop.
this have to do with... Why did you start it with I karate chopped with a karate stick Demogorgons? Okay.
All morning, and I went to go grab my clothes, and I saw a call coming in from Sam, so I answered it, and he was like, babe, I have to talk to you right now. And I was like, babe, I can't talk, I have to go. So I hung up the phone instantly.
That's nice. If my wife called and said I had to talk to her right now, I'd be like, okay, bye, click. I would be dead. You would never see me again. In the arms of the angels and flowers and funerals.
He called me. He's like, no, we need to talk. I'm heading to Brady's. I'm taking James to the ER.
So, whoa. Let me get this straight. So this is the cold opening on the phone call where your kid gets hurt is, I have to talk to you right now? That's what What? No. You call and say, the first thing you say is, we're going to the hospital, meet us there, someone's hurt. You don't be like, I have to talk to you. Do you have any time to talk right now? You're a liar. You're lying right now.
Bleeding from his ear. That's when I just instantly knew something was wrong.
Did you? I instantly knew something was wrong when my husband told me my kid was bleeding from his ear. That's the moment I knew that something was up. Is it? Is that the moment you knew? No. It makes sense. I would also have known it at that moment. What? Is this how you tell a story? You suck at this, man. I knew the instant I fell down a mountain and broke my arm was the moment I instantly knew that I was in some deep shit. You're such a loser. What?
I didn't know the severity of what was about to happen. I need to leave. I need to be there with James. And my family was watching Capri. Mom got me in the car and we raced down the hill.
Oh my God. I could never be friends or even talk to this woman for more than 3.5 minutes. I'd be like, wow. I'd say wow 15 times. She still wouldn't pick it up at the conversation. I'm like, I'm done with this conversation. Oh, totally. Cool. Beans. Yeah, no, I got things to do. Like anything but this. I've got to wash my pubes. I don't know. I got to get out of this conversation.
I don't have makeup on yet. Call from somebody who was there.
Wait a second. So your first inclination when you get a call that your son's ear is bleeding out of his ear is that I don't have my makeup done yet. Is that really? Yeah, is that what went through your mind? You just selfish disgustoid.
The cleanup day.
Oh my God, and she's fake crying too. This is great. Love it. Squeeze a tear, got one.
And Cecily, I need you to listen to me. I got into Sam's
She's like flicking water on between the cuts.
truck to pull forward.
She's such a liar.
To unload some mulch into this planter bed. I didn't see any kids around. He said he pulled forward and all of a sudden he felt this huge bump.
Oh, shit. Damn.
He said he ran out and he saw James at the back of the tire. I lost all control. I don't know how to
my makeup wasn't done.
explain it, but it was the scariest moment of my life. My mom is praying out loud. Just imagined cutting like a hole out of my mom's roof of her car and like praying that I would grow wings so I could get there faster. But
why do you say things like this? This kid could be dying and you're like, I wish I could fly like an angel, but the Demogorgons were fighting me with karate sticks. You're a weirdo, man. Just so you're aware, Cecily Bauchmann, you're out to lunch. Okay? You're a few Smarties short of a pack of Smarties. Okay? You're a couple of spoons short of sharing a sundae. Okay? You're 2 dice short of a Dungeons and Dragons game.
But we finally got to the ER department for my son, James, and they were like, he's in the trauma unit. You see James.
Shut up. You've told the story like 16 times. Okay? He's fine.
He was awake. He had a neck brace on. He had bruises all over his face. And he had blood all on left side of his ear. And so the doctor came up to my husband and I.
It's crazy. Ugh, it gives me shivers.
And said, we need to talk to you about what we found on the CAT scan. He had fractures all the way across his skull here, all the way back to the other side of the ear. The cause of the internal bleeding was that one of the fractures looked like it had caused the carotid artery to be cut or severed. The artery connects from the heart to the brain. And he said this is one of the most like life-threatening into another CAT scan in that moment.
Life-threatening, cut. Just tell the story.
And I just kept praying and praying. Contacted.
Oh my God!
The pastor's wife, the head pastor of the church that we helped plant. She said, "Wait, are you guys at Rady's?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was like,
"Do you have rabies?" "No, we're at the hospital."
"We're at Rady's. Weston's coming right up. He's going to pray over you guys." So when Wes was praying, I just kneeled at James's bedside and I was like, "Lord, please do not take my son." I could see my.
If you need him to fight Demogorgons with karate sticks, I'll do whatever. What?
Myself like trying to climb out of this like muddy pit, and I just.
Why does she do? Like, she's one of those weirdos. Okay, she wasn't into Christianity. It'd be into like spirituality or like into like signs and wonders and like, you know, the Capricorn, Sagittarius and all that shit. She would be that if she wasn't Christian, and she probably is like that. She thinks she has all these visions because she thinks God is somehow giving you these visions. So is like the fighting the Demogorgons with karate stick is your way of knowing that God was gonna run over your child's head with a truck? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now? What is happening?
Kept sliding and it felt like I could hold on to nothing. And in that moment I heard this, praise me. And so I just started praising God. And I said, "God, thank you for who you are. Thank you that you can perform miracles."
And the grossest part with these types of stories is that these Christian ladies who've like had a miracle happen, and I'm not saying it isn't because it could be, is that they share them with the world where there are people that have this didn't happen. And then they'll claim it's all God and all this kind of stuff. And it might be. Okay? But they'll sit there and claim God. But then there are the people who've gone through things and their child hasn't survived. And they are believers. And they're sitting there wondering why God didn't help their child. So maybe it was just the doctors who did it. Yeah? Can we say that? Maybe the doctor who was a very skilled surgeon saved your son? Because a lot of these people fail to give kudos. And I'm not sure that, you know, surgeons and doctors aren't looking for kudos. I know they're not. But a lot of people will, like, after the story is done, be like, give all glory to God. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say don't give glory to God. I am. Because, you know, God made surgeons and all this kind of stuff. But I'm just saying at the same time, it could also be the surgeon. Right? Just saying. Because there are people, and it brings me back to that story about Bethel and was it Wake Up Olive? This story. These Christians are so sometimes, how do I say this? They're just entitled. Christians feel like, especially Christians in leadership, feel like they're more entitled to God's miracles than anybody else. Because if you look back at the Wake Up Olive story, it was one of those entitlement things. These people were like, we're worship leaders at Bethel. Okay. And their daughter, I don't know if the daughter had SIDS or whatever, but wasn't breathing. They kept that poor child on a slab at the morgue for something like 3 to 4 days while they were 100% without a doubt, faith beyond the mustard seed was for sure God was going to raise her from the dead. And it was a trending thing called Wake Up Olive. # Wake Up Olive. If you've never seen the story, go look at it. And they were 100% sure God was going to raise her from the dead and was going to bring a new heaven and earth, and Bethel was going to go viral for it and all this stuff. And that kid didn't survive. Okay, the kid didn't survive the first moment. It wasn't like it wasn't like the kid was on life support. The kid was literally dead And they were praying with 100% certainty God was going to raise her from the dead, and didn't. And like all it did was damage the church even further. Okay, so these types of people will give glory to everything, but forgetting that other people have to go through this stuff. And it's always generally people who are really high up in leadership in churches. That's what I've noticed.
Darkest of the valley that I'm in right now, even if it's the worst possible circumstance.
Stop your fake ass crying, bitchman.
They came back with the CAT scan results, and they said that the carotid artery had not fractured or been severed, or it stayed in the hospital.
It's the crying voice that really gets me, because that's how she normally talks. That pisses me off.
With James, so that was on a Saturday. On Monday, we got news. C1, C2 vertebrae, like the bones, are not broken, but there's like little tendons in between each bone to like keep them, mobile and moving around. And he said they're like rubber bands, like they can like stretch really easy, they're flexible.
How does she go from like absolute bawling to like the next second be like, let's talk about it in more detail?
Are not elastic anymore. They can snap at any moment. Snap, he'll become paralyzed for the rest of his life. Like just fuse the bones together, which would alter him from being able to play any sports. We're going to put him in a halo. Probably one of the most pivotal points in this entire story for me. He's in all my like years practicing neurology, I have never seen a story like this. And this is...
Wait. She's a neurologist? She's a neurologist. Cecily Bauchmann, with this vacant, blank stare into space. This woman, who karate chops with a karate stick demogorgons, is a neurologist. Is she really?
Something I will never forget. I mean, he said, your son's gonna be okay.
Oh, there's this quick switch to the fake crying. You gotta effing stop, lady. You gotta stop, okay? It makes it look worse. We're bad at this.
To put him in a halo, but they wouldn't need to fuse his bones together. We had 2 more nights in the hospital. And
so she's giving so much detail about the story about how, oh my God, his carotid artery is going to be split, and we're so praying. And then one of his things is broken, the elastic, and then at the end of both of those things, she's like, none of those things were true. So why are you saying it? Because she's padding this story to give it drama. She's dramatizing her son's literal accident so she can make money on it. She's dramatizing it. That's actually crazy. None of those things happen. And she's like, well, they could have. Well, okay, aliens could come and abduct your ass, but they'd send you back anyway. But it didn't. So why are you saying this stuff? Again, dramatic. Like, these people who do this can kiss everybody's ass, especially when it comes to kids. Don't do this to kids.
He walked out of the hospital on Thursday. I'll show the video at the very end.
I'm sure you will.
5 years ago this April, a season of just...
Oh my God. You have to stop with the fake ass crying. It's pissing me off. Okay, it's pissing me off.
One thing after another.
It wasn't one thing after another. Nothing happened to the kid. He had to wear a thing to keep his neck stable for a bit. And you're talking about how like, oh man, he had a sword through his eye. No, he didn't. None of the things happened that you said.
Bad at God. But through every single trial,
testimony.
I couldn't help but notice the peace that he gave me, and he gave me his strength. A lot more that happened. Just to give
I'm sure you could tell us a lot more that happened. Well, the doctor said he might also grow wings and fly away, but it didn't happen. Yeah.
Quick recap. Just months before this, we had miscarried 2 times back to back.
What the F does that have to do with this?
My dad was hit by a car and killed.
Okay, well, that's traumatic to this story. I can see that.
And James's accident happened, where somebody extremely betrayed us to the point of cutting them off completely.
What? What does this have to do with your son getting in an accident? It's an accident. What? Are you going to blame this on the devil? Is that what's going to happen right now?
James took a pot of hot coffee and poured it all down the front of him. And then we had a CPS.
What? James did what? Why? What? Took a pot of hot coffee and poured, like, accidentally? And how do you do that? What? What in the fresh hell? This woman is weird, man.
This investigation
CPS.
Against us. It was
For what?
2019 at this point, so it was like...
CPS for what? What am I missing? Somebody from Cecily's snark group, please get out to me. I need to know it's... What? What in the fresh hell am I watching?
Years of just trial after trial. Then COVID
Trials.
happens. My business at the time took a huge tank.
It took a huge tank? Did it? What was her business? Let me guess. Makeup. Jewelry. What was it? Purses? Was it secondhand clothing? What was Cecily Bauchmann's business? Was it roofing? Did she have a roofing company? What was it? It was clothing, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
We have 4 kids. And I was like, what if I don't make any money? Like, what if...
Well, your husband has a job.
Are we going to survive?
He doesn't anymore, thanks to your ass showing your titties on TV.
I look back on all of it. And there were times where I thought God was mean. And I asked, why are you dealing us this hand? I sat with our executive
Like, it's not me. I give you karate sticks.
pastor.
What you do with those karate sticks matters. And you took out those demogorgons for me with the karate sticks. First of all, demogorgons are not biblical. I don't think. Are they? I've never heard of it. But God gave you what... You know what? When God gives you karate sticks, you use them shits to karate stick your way through life.
So why do these things happen? And he said, I don't know why bad things happen to good people. And he was like...
Hey, bring it in here, Cecily. Bring it in. I know you're... I don't know if I could speak to her. It's like, you know, when drunk people like look at your forehead, and they're like drunk and like, oh, I love you, man. But they're looking everywhere but your face. That's her. Okay, but bring it in here. You're not a good person, Cecily. Okay, Cecily, whatever the hell your name is. You are a child exploiter. You're an asshole. All right? All right, cool. Just making sure you know.
I am going to ask God that when I get to heaven. He gave me the freedom to be like...
God, what's with all that trials? Like, right? You know? Okay, whatever, lady. You're not Job. Relax.
I can ask God the hard questions too. I'm sharing this to share like a part.
You go, girl. Slay. Slay queen. Go ask God the hard questions. Look at the audacity of this person. Is like, I'm going to go ask God. Like, she not even wants to speak to a man. She's going to speak right to God with her Karen attitude. God, like, do you know who I am? I'm a YouTuber. Shut the front door, Cecily. Are you serious right now? The audacity of this woman.
Here I am on TikTok posting about my daily routines, posting my daily life. And all of you ask, how are you so patient as a mom?
What? Nobody's asking you that.
Everything for me. Yet I have still seen a loving God in all of it. Go get ready.
Where did you get this house coat?
I thought I was gonna like put on makeup and do my hair and all that. No, I'm just a long video of me standing here with wet hair. I love you guys. Thank you.
Shut the And then of course she filmed your kid coming out of the hospital because why not, right? Are you still able to be friends with the man that accidentally ran him over? You're so strong. We are. He's one of the closest people in our life. Oh my! And people write shit like this. Your dad undoubtedly was there with little James and saved him. No, he wasn't. Not if you're a Christian. You can't believe that shit. It doesn't make sense. And it's made me cry and gave me chills. I'm sorry. I know you want it to be true, but it's not true, especially if you're Christian. Okay? Your dad's not just coming down saving people. That's not how that works. People sobbing with you. Are you? Do you cry with her when she fake cries? Is that really? Because she didn't. Again, what with the Demogorgons and karate sticks? They had nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with it. She is like Micah Stauffer level stupid, and it's gonna be fun to snark on her. So here's the longer version. Let's take a look. See if the tap comes on. You know, the crying. It's happening. Let's see what happens here.
I'm going to talk about something that I've only shared here a few times.
Only a few. Yeah, you're gonna share it again. If you shared it once, why are you sharing it again? Has it changed? Has the story changed? Or are you sharing it again because it makes you a lot of views? That's why you're doing it. So if you're sharing traumatic stories of your children, you're an asshole. Just so you're aware. I want to make sure you remember that.
This is a story that changed my life.
All right, split ends. You said that last time too.
It changed our family's life. Backstory. Sam and I got married pretty young.
Just quit putting baby shit on your face. Doesn't work.
We had kids 3 years after we got married. We wanted to live like our early marriage in being married. We had our first daughter, and then shortly after she was born, I I got pregnant when she was 9 months old with our second, whose name
Again, telling parts of the story that doesn't matter to the story at all.
is James. The first two kids, Capri and James, are basically where I lived my 20s. I love being a mom.
Well, you suck at it, so glad you like it though.
I never think of myself as like the stay-at-home mom, but there I was after having two literally back-to-backs. Here I am, a stay-at-home mom, making money on the side. Fast forward.
Oh my, what in the fresh hell are you talking about? Just get to the story.
James at this point is 3 years old. I am finally pregnant.
A glue stick?
With our third, who's Gracie. I had miscarried back-to-back twice, and just...
So she's just telling it again. Like, she keeps repeating the same damn story over and over again because it makes her money. That's it. She'll keep capitalizing. She'll keep telling the story because she'll just... Well, I have nothing to do today. Let me just repeat the damn story.
2 months before this, my dad had passed away from getting hit by a car. Bear with me. This story is so hard for me to share just because...
It's not hard for you to share. You shared it a few times. You said at the beginning. It's not hard for you to share. You share it and you make money. It's not hard. If it was hard, you'd only be able to do it once. But you've done it multiple times. So spare me.
Revisiting this time in my life is pretty difficult.
So stop doing it then, butthole!
I had started helping out at a local high school, and they had these beautification days. Help do landscaping, you clean up the property, and you basically make it look beautiful.
Well, you look like a clown there, and you deserve it.
I'm gonna take James with me. There's gonna be other kids. Cool for them to like get their hands dirty and like garden and do all those things. And I was like totally on board. Like, yeah, absolutely. To leave for my sister-in-law, Samantha.
She smells like her breath stinks. I smell. She looks like her breath stinks.
This baby shower. Sam was also getting ready to leave.
Why keep putting the clown makeup on?
I was like, I want to make sure that he's wearing the right clothing. And I remember thinking so specifically.
This has nothing to do with it.
What will keep his skin...
What about the Demogorgons and the karate chopping?
Protected from the sun, maybe from like bugs or dirt or like scratches.
Or trucks.
Things like that. So I dressed him in long pants and long sleeves, little boots on. Oh, freaking cute. Pri and I left for the baby shower. Sam was already gone. He was driving an F-150 at the time. And he took his truck because they were putting mulch in the back and doing all those things. I didn't hear from Sam at all during the morning. I figured...
Then he called me and I hung up on his ass. Daddy asshole.
Everything's fine. Everything's going good. I had been at Samantha's baby shower setting things up. Right about an hour before the baby shower started, I grabbed my things.
What? I thought you were going to beautifying the school. What?
To go start getting ready. I just so happened to have my phone sitting at the top of my bag.
Oh, did you happen to have your phone right at a spot everybody has their phone? You just so happen to see your phone there? Oh my God, that's so... What a coincidence that when you need your phone, it was right when your hand is.
And I see that Sam was calling me. Hey, I need to talk to you. And I was like, I can't talk right now. I have to.
So silly. If I called my wife and said, hey, can I talk to you while my kid is bleeding from their head, I'm dead.
To go, baby shower getting ready to start, and I have to get ready. So I hung up the phone so quickly.
What a bitch. That's actually bitchy. So you just hung up on your husband because you have to go help a friend? You couldn't talk to him for 2 seconds? Are you serious?
I was ringing again, and he goes, Cecily, I need you to stop what you're doing. I'm in an ambulance, and I'm taking James to the ER.
Again, why you open with that? This guy sucks. He's a pastor, and he opens with, hey, can I speak to you for a quick sec? Or you open with, we're in an ambulance!
Bleeding from his ear. And that is when I just, I lost it. I'm going to be there.
Then I knew something was up. That's the moment I knew something was up. When my husband... I'm just repeating the same snark over because she's repeating the same story over. But that's when I knew. Dun, dun, dun. Danger.
I need to go tell family. I need to go tell everyone that, I'm leaving. I'm freaking out. I'm literally panicking right now. My mom was like, I will drive you. I get a call. This is where, I spiral. Family friend of ours. Who
here you go. I'm gonna turn the fake one over.
Was with Sam that morning. Are you sitting down? And I said yes. He said I was in Sam's truck, pulling the truck forward to unload some mulch, and I didn't see anybody around the truck. I pulled forward. I thought I went up and over a curb, but it was...
First of all, okay, we didn't address this before, but what? How in the hell do you run over a child? Who's not... That's a small child, by the way. Is he 3 or something? That's a tiny child. Nobody's watching this child just gets run over by a damn truck. That's negligent parenting, and nobody really wants. She never talks about that, right? Are we going to talk about how somebody ran over a child? Who's watching your kid?
It was strange because I remember not knowing that there was a curb.
That's funny. There's no curb there. Well, it was our child. And that's why I was wondering. No. What? What does she say? Why does she say? Why does she say that? She's like, it's weird because I remember saying there's no curb there. Well, that's because it's our son that the truck was on. What?
I looked around and I could hear people screaming. And I see James at the back of the tire. There's crying for mommy. And he said,
how are you going to be there fake crying and doing your eyebrows at the same damn time? Do you know how vapid you look doing this? Are you this? Okay, I'm asking, are you this stupid? We know. You are stupid. Okay, and you're fake and gross.
I ran James over with Sam's truck.
Getting clean.
I heard that. I became so afraid.
She's so fake and fakey fake.
Thinking of all these ways that I could cut open like a hole in my mom's car and like grow wings to fly close.
Why? She just gets to just re-upload the other one. Re-upload it every other week then.
Closer to James. We're both praying. I was like, God, please don't take my baby. Please don't take James from my son.
Oh, she's painting her face. Does nobody else find this so weird? Like, the internet has ruined us. I can't wait for TikTok to be banned. Shit asses like this gonna have to start all over again, and there's no way they're gonna grow their platform again. We need a cultural reset for social media, and it's somebody who makes money on the internet, on social media. I get it, but we need a cultural reset. Assholes like this are out here just making bank, telling these stories over and over and over again, and fake crying while putting their eyebrows on. We are like God's, like, we need another Sodom and Gomorrah moment. I think. And it should be for California. I think we'll start there. But like the whole world needs Sodom and Gomorrah moment. Yeah, send some fire, brimstone. Look back, turn to a pillar of salt kind of thing. Yeah, I think so. I think we're up. I forget the asteroid. God should Sodom and Gomorrah the shit out of this place.
I want him to die. I had known a friend of mine who lost her brother from being ran over while they're...
You need to chill in the fillers, lady. You look like a freaking ventriloquist puppet.
Backing the car out of the driveway. The impact, I know that the survival rate is not high for kids with cars. Calls me and he said we just got to the ER. They're giving him a CAT scan.
If she goes into it again and says, oh, he could have had this or could have had this and that and the other thing, but he didn't, I'm going to be pissed.
They put him in a neck brace. So I get up there and I see in the ICU, they have all of these like people standing outside of a room. 2 police officers, there were social workers, doctors, nurses.
You know why the social workers were there? We're wondering why you weren't watching your child. Just checking in, making some notes.
1 week's pregnant with Gracie, like definitely showing. I see him and he's just laying there. Blood all over his ear. He has bruises.
Again, she's fake crying because she's literally putting her makeup on as she's fake crying and there's no tears. So, and look at this. A face only a sewage truck could love.
All over his face, he smells like asphalt. I see a doctor walk in and he basically said like the CT scan that he just did came back and it shows that one of the fractures that is where his ear is bleeding is close to the carotid artery, and that means that if the carotid artery was severed, then we need. See,
she keeps repeating it over and over again because she's again dramatizing this story to make it more dramatic. There's no other way to put it. She's padding it against a story that her kid could have died. She's making it. I hate her.
Go in and do like surgery close to his brain because the carotid artery connects from the heart to the brain, and it is one of the most major arteries that like helps, that like makes you function. Or extreme surgery on your son, and it is life or death. But is he gonna live? Like at this point, I'm just like asking anybody for like help, and he's like, I can't give you an answer. I do not know. Like if you believe in anything, just start praying. So James goes into another scan. Nurses there was like so calm and kind. I heard about James' accident. They called him in,
and then they're like, okay, it was a vertebrae this time, but it wasn't a vertebrae this time. It was just no, he's good.
He's still awake and conscious is a miracle. So Sam and I took that, prayed even more. Her words gave me this hope and peace, knowing that like he made it this far. I'm gonna praise God that like he's still awake pretty quickly. And they were like, good news, the carotid artery was not severed. We do not need to do surgery. They just keep him in here and we're monitoring him because we have to wait for more MRIs and things to come back. And I would not leave his side. But I think I went home once to shower, like 100.
Just the things that she remembers. I think I did some self-care at this moment when my son's in the hospital. No. If your son's in the hospital, you don't go home and have a shower, okay? And you don't be like, it's not a flex that you only went home once. You just don't go home when your son's in the hospital, okay? You don't go home and have a shower. Okay? Cool? Are we cool with that? Yeah. You're such a selfish twat.
There's the fractures all across the skull from ear across to the other ear. The major injury that was the most concerning, the tendon in between the C1 and C2.
See, there she goes again.
Shot that it's like barely even there from him getting ran over. If he moves too much, could paralyze him. Going to be okay, like he's going to be alive. The other part of it going to be paralyzed for the rest of his life. So we're sitting over here like, we will do whatever it takes. At this point, we're like, we'll sell our house. We will do whatever to like pay for the best for James. Like we will do anything to fuse his bones together, or will he just need a halo? It's like, it's screwed into your head and it's big, heavy metal. It's like 40 pounds. You can't move at all. Like if you've seen...
It's not 40 pounds. Okay? You're not putting on a 3-year-old a 40-pound brace. It's not 40 pounds. It's probably made of lightweight metal. Very lightweight metal. It just has to be sturdy. 40 pounds. F off. Your kid doesn't even weigh 40 pounds.
Mean Girls. It's very similar looking to what Regina George had on at the very end of the movie. Like, well, if he fuses his bones together, he won't be able to play sports. He is
Why does it... She keeps repeating this one line. Sports. Okay, there's other things in life, too. Like, you just won't be able to live, freely like everybody else. But sports is the only thing that matters for some reason. It's super weird.
And he, like, the chances of him being paralyzed at this point now are, like, not even being discussed. And he comes out with a Halo 1. Halo 1, they wanted him to start walking around. So there's a video of him, like, walking.
We know. You showed it already.
For the first time. It was crazy. And
you captured it on film instead of having a moment. You put that out for the world. You and your husband are ass hats. Okay? You're douche canoes. Both of you.
Changed our lives. It woke me up to a lot of things.
What did it wake you up to? Yeah, well, what were you saying that for? Not your fault. It's nobody's fault. It was an accident. What did it wake you up to? Like, it's not like you had an overdose on fentanyl and you're like, it woke me up. I hit rock bottom as an alcoholic. I woke up in a ditch with my ass hanging out with, million mosquito bites on my taint. It woke me up. What did it wake you up to? It was an accident. Unavoidable. You're dumb.
Life is precious. That was ahead of us.
It woke you up to life is precious? You didn't know before the accident that life was precious? Okay.
What was coming. Like, I don't share and probably will never share. I look back on...
What? Share what?
In those 3 years of literal hell, that in the midst of all that trauma, I still... could feel
I praise the Lord with ninja stars.
God's presence in his peace, church community around us that
was cutting out weird stuff.
Wasn't judgmental, like saying like, what sin have you done to like deserve this? Like that is so legalistic and judgmental.
Who the hell? Nobody would say that.
Around us, they came. I remember pastor's wife came and like cleaned underneath our kids' beds. She texted.
Okay, what? The things that you remember. I remember this moment, and a squirrel like dropped an acorn out of a tree, and I was like, oh my God, it's God's promise to us. Is the acorn, and it will plant an oak tree the size of a small Buick. And I was like, okay, It's if Kamala Harris was a pastor.
I said, hey, what are you doing today? I said, I'm at home. And she just like tidied up and cleaned things that I wouldn't even think to clean. And she let me just pour out my heart to her amazing community.
Shut up.
Around us, which is why I think like we learned.
Not anymore, because you showed your tatas on the internet and your husband got fired.
And we grew through a lot of it because of the church that surrounded us. I even asked him this morning before he went to school, can I share your story again? And he said, yes. And he was like...
He doesn't. Kids can't give consent, so stop saying that.
All of it. And we get
hey, Mom, why don't you just upload the other one? Because it's the exact same story over again.
What happened? He was in that halo for 6 weeks. Had to clean his pins every night that were screwed into his head. Went to like a hospital care store. Saw like shampoo hats in a kit. And like you put it on, you just like rub it. And then it's like...
Like shampoo? Is that? You put it in your hair and you rub it? Like shampoo? Cool. You're super special.
Shampooing your hair without having to use water. Like that was a season of our lives where it was like, he is my everything. This is what I do. Actually, he was able to leave.
You're such a good mom. You took care of your child after an injury. I mean, Nobody does that. Like, good for you, girl. Slay. Nobody takes care of their child. You're just a brand new concept.
Neck brace all completely and totally healed. Completely healed. A star football player. So excited.
That's why, because they care about football, apparently.
Anytime he gets to play football, teacher conference with them, they said, we know.
Okay, I'm sorry. If your child gets run over by a truck and there's possibly a vertebrae fracture or something going to happen, you're not playing football. You could play other things, but you're not playing tackle football. Okay? Because that's probably a weak point in this child's body forever. And you're going to put him in tackle football? Are you out of your mind? Are you seriously that far away from your mind? She is a space cadet. Elon, send her to Mars. She's ready.
James always has kids around him. He is one of the most loving, friendly kids. He's a friend to all. So proud because that's what we want him to be. Sam and I strive for in our own.
Well, you don't have any friends, so good luck with that.
Personal lives. And they said, we'll always know that he's on the football field playing football. That is my story.
You know what, Cecily? That's not your story, actually. That's your son's story. So, no, it had nothing to really do with you at all. But thanks. It's not your story, you liar.
In April 21st, 2018. It was a day that changed my life.
And I made money on the internet from it. It was the day that changed my life from making money. Cecily's looking, try to hide her belly. It's not funny. Where do you get these jeans? I got beat up for wearing jeans like that in high school. She doesn't need to turn the camera around. There's too much headroom in her videos. And there's another one. There's another one I haven't even seen yet. And of course, she shows her bra in this one.
Listen, I hear a screeching.
So how many times has she told this story? Like, that's insanity to me. How many times are you going to share this thing? She's running with this accident just like her other sons. Oh, it's another accident. Oh. Jackson's accident. So is it James is his name? Smile talking. Yeah, this is the creepiest thing about her right there. This. How in the hell did you score a husband? Anyway. Cecily Bauchmann, welcome to the show. I actually like snarking her because she's, again, Micah level shit ass. Very, very dumb. Very not mindful, not demure at all. She's just teeth that look like, I don't know, like a sewer grate. It's really weird. I don't know how to place them like a Ninja Turtles cartoon. It's just stop. Stop talking, showing people your face. It's not going well for you. Okay? All right? Cool. Everybody take a deep breath. Cecily Bauchmann. I would love to have a candid conversation with this girl's husband. I really want to know. Anybody who goes to their ex-churches, reach out to me. I'm an ex-pastor. I know how the churches run. I would love to know more about their time at church. That would be very, very exciting. If you guys have other videos you'd like me to cover, please send me about the Cecily Bauchmann videos. Anything about the faith. I'd like to do a video on her, like, talking about faith. I want to hear what she has to say about theology. I'd love to hear that. Thanks for being here, guys. You are amazing, incredible, and valuable. Don't you forget it. Someone has a huge crush on you because you're just some kind of something. And I will see you when I see you.